All right. Where do we begin? I guess probably by now everyone's seen our little video and kind of probably got a few questions floating around in their heads. So
Wondering what the fuck is going on?
I guess we wanted to just come in and have a bit of a conversation and explain some of the stuff that's happening and kind of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, this was suggested to us that, to do this podcast, and we thought it was probably the best way to let everyone know what's going on and to really get into the nitty-gritty of it all, because it's not something that we have taken. It's not a decision we've made lightly.
And certainly not an easy one.
No, not at all.
And I know there's going to be people out there in our community who've been, with us for a long time that are going to be a bit shocked, possibly.
Definitely.
So we just want to go through and explain a few things and just make sure everyone understands what's happening next, what it means for Iron Strength, what it means for us as a family, I guess, and kind of where we're going from there. So
we're going to try and not ramble. This is the first time that I've ever done a podcast, and I'm not. This is not comfortable for me at all. I'm behind in an office, behind spreadsheets kind of person. So this is I felt like I was preparing for an exam last night, typing up my notes, and Elias just went to sleep, because that's what he does. He's a natural. But this is a very foreign thing for me. And so I hope I don't ramble too much, and content warning, there will be swearing, lots of it. So that's just who we are. And from my perspective as well, I'm in the throes of perimenopause, and I expect tears. There will be lots of tears because due to the hormones, I cannot control my emotions, and due to the brain fog, I can't articulate myself well. So that's why I've got these. But that's how I operate anyway. I'm a process, procedure, list kind of person.
So speaking of rambling, regardless of the rambling, I do want to encourage everybody to
stick with us,
to just hang with us in this conversation. There's going to be a lot of stuff, and I know that some of you may not have been with us for very long, but there are some people out there who've been with us for a very long time since the day the gym opened, the first day. So I think hang out with us.
On that note, there have actually been five members that are with us still to this day from our very first year of opening, and 11 in total from our original gym. So yeah,
wild.
But yeah.
So obviously you've seen the video. Yes, we have made the very difficult decision to sell Iron Strength, and it was probably one of the hardest things we've done, and even having this conversation about it still doesn't really feel doesn't.
Why are you crying? I was meant to be the first one.
Can't help it. Yeah, look, it's so hard. It's such a hard thing for us, and it's been a conversation that we've been having for a long time now. It's not as if we've just decided in a week or two that we're going to do this thing. This has been something that's been coming for a little while,
And I'll guess that's something we will get into. And so just bringing you back into line. What did you say to me last night? Oh, you'll keep me on track.
Yeah. So keep us on track.
There's plenty of details, and the juiciest of them all obviously being who is taking over, and we'll get to that in due course. We'll get to that. There's a lot we want to cover off, and we feel like we owe it to you to explain and talk about a lot of these things. So that's why we've decided to do the podcast. A post on social media does not do this justice. It's something that
no, I don't think it really gets across, what we really want to say. And maybe this podcast won't either. But I'd like to, give everyone, just some real stuff from us, from the heart. And so I hope everyone understands exactly what this decision means to us and, moving forward.
So, we're selling. It's entering a new chapter. But I mean, before we get into all those juicy details and the $1 million question, I guess we should, reflect.
Yeah.
And, now that the cat's out of the bag and just sort of reflect on the last 10 and a half years of our life.
Well, yeah, I mean, even more than that. I mean,
that's true.
We're in our 11th year of operation of the gym, but obviously the dream started
a long time before that.
Started from stacking some secondhand equipment in an old storage shed for a long time.
Oh, well before that. I mean, we met in 2000. I came back from the UK after 2 years living abroad. At the end of 2011, I met you in 2012 in the most cliche of ways. In a gym. Such a cliche. Yeah, very, very lame. But that's how we met. I was a CrossFit cult. I was definitely part of a CrossFit cult back then. That CrossFit had just exploded in Cairns. And I was well and truly in the cult. And I used to go to CrossFit and go to a Globo gym at the same time, Club One Fitness, now Think Fitness on Sheridan Street. Great gym back then. And I used to go in there and do strength training.
Something of that description. I mean, to be honest, I had no idea what I was doing back then anyway. So,
but I mean, how did Iron Strength come about? Because this was not my dream. I helped you, but how did it come about?
Well, it was never really my dream until, I was just a chubby kid that decided that he needed to look a little bit better and take care of himself a little bit, and I started going to a gym, and I just fell in love with lifting. Just became something that was really special for me. And over the years, I think I was training for probably 6 or so years before we got to this point of even thinking about having a gym. And
that wasn't we though. I mean,
no, that was
some of your training partners got you into.
Yeah, Kane, who was my first training partner, who really showed me what powerlifting was and sort of took me under his wing a little bit and helped me out because he saw some, young loser in the gym trying to do stuff that didn't really look like stuff. But
that's what happened with me. You saw some young loser chick attempting to do strength training, so it came around.
People help each other.
Yeah.
That's what he did, and he really got me into it, and I fell in love with it. And from there, we used to just have conversations in the gym about, oh man, how good would it be to have like a gym where you could just go and do strength training and powerlifting and not be in this type of commercial environment where everyone's looking at you sideways and, people are getting a bit upset because you might be putting the bar down a little bit louder than they think you should. So it was just a conversation and, started out just being how good would that be, kind of like a bit of a that's never going to happen,
But the thing for you was, I guess, help. It was you recognised that people in the gym needed help, and how good would it be to have a gym where help was always accessible, like how gyms used to be.
Yeah, well, it started at Club One like that. People just for some reason gravitated towards us because we were training together, at the time, Kane, myself and you, and even Manny was in there back in those days, and a few other people in that gym, and people just gravitated around because they wanted a little bit of help, and I think that's where it kind of started for me. I was like, hang on, there's people in here that actually need some more help, and I needed it, that's for sure. And I was lucky enough to get it, but I don't think there's that many people out there who have a situation like I had, who somebody in the gym who knows what they're doing.
Not without paying, that's for sure.
Without paying a lot of money, especially these days. So yeah, it just started out as a conversation, and then I just kept talking about it until I wore you down, I think.
It was a 5-year dream. You had this 5-year dream. So when I first met Elias, he would talk about this, and I would train with him and his training partner Kane, and we'd go in and do our strength training at we'd get to the gym about 6 or 7 or something like that, and we'd be there past 9 o'clock.
So they kicked us out at night and turned the lights off on us.
I was a 24-hour, wasn't it?
No, not those days.
Turned into one eventually. Yeah. And yeah, you would talk about this dream of yours, and as the years went by, so 2012 I met you, and 2013 it was still a 5-year dream. 2014 it was still a 5-year dream. I'm just going, is this dream? Are you getting any closer to this dream? What is happening? And yeah, that's where I stepped in and I sort of gave you the ultimatum. I said, look, do you want this dream to happen? Do you actually want this to become a reality? I can help you.
I think that was smart on my part.
It was entrapment. Yeah. So, I like I said, it was never my dream to own a gym. It was never my dream to actually run a small business. I'm a chartered accountant, and I always worked in that profession my entire adult life. And yeah, I never ever thought I would be opening up and owning a gym, let alone a powerlifting one or a strength training one.
Look, neither did I. I was just a musician who probably drank a lot.
Well, that's the thing as well. A lot of people don't know your history as well. For over 20 years, you were I
was a singer in a band and a wedding singer for
a well sought out wedding singer.
And that was great. It was a good career, but yeah, a lot of drinking and lifestyle choices weren't always the best. And so part of, getting into the gym was part of, changing that whole scenario, because it was just an unhealthy type lifestyle I was living, and I started getting into the gym and replacing going to the pub with going to the gym, which was something that obviously turned out really well for me. Not that you could tell. But yeah, so
if you want to train, don't own a gym.
Yeah. So I think once we made the decision that, you know what, let's give it a run. Let's see what happens. At the time, powerlifting didn't exist in Cairns.
Not at all.
Absolutely nothing happening. I think the last competition before we kind of got stuck in was in 1981.
80s, yeah.
Yeah, it was in the 80s.
And it died after that.
And it was gone. And sort of the era of powerlifting just stopped.
And it became a bit of a bodybuilding.
Much more
bodybuilding, yeah,
yeah.
was the trend.
Yeah, so we were kind of like, you know what, it's a pretty big risk, but we'll give it a go. We'll see what happens.
And I guess when we made that decision, we started looking around for premises, and that was a nightmare. That was an absolute nightmare. Everywhere I rang around, I would find all these premises, ring the realtors, and they not interested, not at all interested. First of all, we are a startup, so we don't have a proven financial records, anything, nothing. We're starting from scratch, and as soon as they heard gym, gone, not interested. And we were driving down Spence Street one day, and I just went, stop, turn around, and turned around on Spence Street, and there was this busted ass handwritten stencil sign.
Little sign at the window. I don't even think it was A4. I think it was smaller than that.
No, I think it was a busted ass sign and a bigger sign, but it said for lease and it had a phone number. And we called that number, and it was a lovely old couple, and he'd built that whole row of sheds at 268 Spence Street.
Is that what it was?
I think it was, yeah. Oh, God, how have I forgotten that? Anyway, he'd built it, and there was no going through a realtor or anything like that. It was directly, we rented directly.
I went to their house, signed a lease at their house on their patio.
The loveliest couple.
But, they gave us a shot.
They gave us a shot.
They were like, you know what? Go for it.
They loved it. They absolutely loved what we were wanting to do.
And they did when we actually built the place. They were really impressed with everything. So, I mean, that was I guess we got lucky in that sense that those people were willing to take a chance. Otherwise, we may never have even started.
No, because no one was willing to give us a chance. This was 2015. Probably started looking into 2014, but 2015 is when we finally found a shed, signed a lease, and we should
probably talk about, just backtracking a second. It's hard to think about all these things. It's so long ago, but we decided, or we got approached in the gym by one of the guys who was running the bodybuilding shows in Cairns at the time.
Oh, yes.
He asked us, this is before we had the gym.
That's been covered off in the competition sections.
Okay. But that's part of the reason why we made the decision to start the gym, because
that's true.
We got a really great response from that first competition we ran in 2014.
It was...
we had no idea what we were doing, mind you.
Zero. And we were borrowing equipment from Club One Fitness. It was
at Henderson. Still going to be thankful for that guy.
There are so many people that took a chance on us, and he's definitely one of them as well.
Allowed us to take equipment out of his gym, take it to some place and like hold Brothers Leagues Club and hold a powerlifting comp.
It was a push-pull.
Never done anything like it before.
Push-pull.
But yeah, we had like 25 entrants.
25 competitors in that very first comp.
That we did in 2014. We went, you know what? This could... It's
really cool.
Could be all right. And so I think that was part of the decision to go, you know what, let's take that chance and try and open that gym. So that was cool.
I mean, comps were never going to be our focus, but we got such a great response to that, and the response we got from that really sort of motivated us.
100%. Okay, there is actually people out there who might be keen on this. So anyway, fast forward back to getting the lease. We signed that lease. I resigned from my work like that week. And luckily I was a casual worker, so we just basically ended it. And we had 3 weeks basically, I think it was.
Oh, I can't remember.
To get the doors open, because we didn't have much money. And I think I borrowed like $5,000 off Dad. And I was like, we need to get these doors open, we need to smash it out. And I think we got in there and the place was filthy. I'm fairly sure.
It was a welder?
It was Hanby Welding.
Yep.
Turns out they're on the same street as our current gym now.
Yeah, so we followed them around to
their place. But their previous building, it was filthy. It was like the soot that was covering that place. We gurneyed that thing down like 3 or 4 times, and there was still black just coming off everything.
And it was just an old tin shed.
It was hot as hell. But we got in there, we got stuck in, we cleaned it up, we started putting stuff together, and we, looking back, we put together this little gym that, looking at it now,
it was so lame.
It was super lame.
But I have to say, in 2015, because there was nothing, we were lucky because we could start out with something lame. There was no benchmark. There was no, and we were, yes, that's right. We were different to all the other gyms. Our offering was different. So we had a point of difference. It was still super lame though. We could barely fit. It was a 200 square metre shed.
We had 30 square metres of rubber. That's all we had. The rest of it was just bare concrete because we didn't have enough money to buy any more rubber.
And we had very little equipment in there. But people still showed up.
Yeah, they came along and
we had 0 members. We rolled open that door and we had 0 members.
I think we opened for a week and we decided
it was a free week,
We'll open the doors for a week and we'll just allow anyone who wants to come in to have a go. And some of the people that walked in that door, like we said earlier, are still here, which is just absolutely incredible. Like the loyalty is phenomenal, and obviously we love all of those people. It's more than just clients, it's absolute friendships now. So
they are a family, 100%.
Yeah, so that's wild old time, and that little old shed. I mean, I loved that gym. That was such a cool space.
Back then, we actually trained. We were able to train because we had, we did.
The thing is, we trained with people as well.
We did.
It's a little bit different these days, but
it's because we had bugger all members.
Hardly any people in there, so you just jumped in together and had a good time. But
it was. There were some very fun times in that shed. We were there for just over 3 years in that space, and we went from barely being able to fill up half of it to absolutely busting at the seams with equipment, because as more members came in, we would reinvest that money into purchasing more equipment. So we've never we've never obtained loans to buy equipment. We've always just
first $5,000
from your dad, from Bank of Dad. We've always bought and upgraded our equipment as the money came in. So, we were able to. It's not like now where you have to come in with the best and the fanciest. So, again, we were very lucky starting out over 11 years ago in that way. And, we were absolutely busting at the seams. We're at capacity with members in terms of what we...
Yeah, the space was getting pretty full. It was getting somewhat uncomfortable at times. because it was great. We were all sharing
Really cool.
equipment, but 5 or 6 people on one bench press at the same time, trying to get through stuff like that. It did sort of present its challenges. And I guess I feel like if we had 2 choices at that point, we either stay the same and eventually we'll just wither away, or we
wasn't making a lot of money.
No, we weren't making enough money.
Throughout this whole time as well, I do have to say that I was still working full time.
Yeah,
professionally.
We couldn't have done it any other way.
I was working full time in my profession, and you were looking after the gym full time, and we had no other staff, and we would clean. So we didn't have cleaners either. So we did everything back then, and we could, but did eventually get to a point where we couldn't.
Responsibilities were a little less back then as well. But yeah, so it got to the point where we had to make that choice. We either stay here and just kind of stagnate, and I feel like we felt that way as well at that point. It was feeling like, what are we doing? We can't move forward from this. It felt a little bit like there was a bit of a dead end at that point. And I think we had to make that decision to go, well, what's next? What are we going to do? And it was a bit of a tough choice.
It was a weird time, actually, because we had put an offer on a house.
We had.
And that fell through. Well, we actually pulled out on building and finance. And this whole thing about things happen for a reason, I don't really believe in it. But I do at that point. We pulled out, and I had itchy feet, and I
think it changed your focus.
It did. It 100% did.
This thing over here, you went,
because I can't sit still.
Now what else can I dig my teeth into? And you went, right, we're gonna grow this business.
For anyone that doesn't know the dynamic between Elias and I, he's the visionary, I'm the doer. So I guess that's how we've worked so well in this. It's not easy, but it's worked really well for us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely it has.
He's the pretty face, I'm the behind the scenes.
Of the two of us, and they're just like, Jesus,
what on earth?
How are you guys working shit out? I got no idea. But we do work things out. And I guess at that point when we decided, all right, this is what's going on, Jackie got online and had a look around, and she found this shed and was just like, oh my God, this thing's way too big, but looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a blank slate.
Oh my God, it's ginormous.
It's huge.
No way we can do that.
504 square meters.
Like our gym could have fit 3 times in that place. And I'm like, what the fuck? How's that work?
We couldn't fit. The equipment we had would have only fit a third of it.
Yeah.
Filled up a third of it rather. Yeah, wild. So we contacted Knight Frank, and they didn't hang up immediately when they heard Jim. They gave us a chance. The owner of
current landlord,
gave us a chance. You took a massive gamble on us.
Took a big gamble. Everyone that's been part of this situation has taken a gamble on us. Thankfully, it's paid off. Well, I hope it has.
It was a bit touch and go there in the beginning,
we had a few little issues.
Getting council approval and all that sort of stuff. That was an absolute nightmare. But yeah, we got it over the line.
To the point where
they were
ready to pull the lease on us because we didn't have the approval and it was just taking so long. And we were like, oh my God. And
but they stuck with us. He said, just give these kids a chance.
We did,
pretty sure.
Which is pretty dicey. But we're like, we're not going to let this thing slip. So we signed that lease without
the approval.
Like,
it was in the works.
It was in the works, but we
couldn't wait for the final.
We couldn't wait. So we signed it, and we were just crossing our fingers and holding our breath until that approval came through. And it did, thankfully. The wonderful people at Cairns Council came along and had a look. And it was actually really cool because the lady who came to assess the place was a triathlete.
Okay.
So she was into sports and training and all of that sort of stuff. And she just thought it was such a cool idea. And she was like, yep, this sounds great. So gave us the tick, and then we're like, oh my God, the relief of that was awesome. Then we got into that giant space, which we couldn't even fill, or at least we couldn't.
That was August 2018. And so we had to try and keep it under wraps, and we held a third birthday party. It was it was our third birthday party.
Third or fourth? Okay.
Third. And we gave everyone the premises, I think maybe last minute or something like that.
House party.
Yeah, we're having a party, and everyone was expecting it to either be a surprise wedding or announcing that we were pregnant.
And we tried to set it up that way a little bit too.
Yeah, we were stringing people along, but yeah, everyone ended up coming to this empty shed with some crap jam down the back. We'd Toy World had closed, and we'd bought a whole heap of pallet racking and shelving systems off them, and someone actually saw us grabbing all of that stuff, and yeah, anyway. So it was hard trying to keep all that under wraps, but yeah, we announced on our 3rd birthday that we were moving to somewhere well over double the size of where we were. So it was
a cool time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of good energy, and
it was a sad time as well, because we were that original gym on Spence Street. That was special. There was something so special about that place.
100%. I mean, anyone who had the pleasure of training there just knew there was a different kind of energy. Yeah. It was amazing. And
not to discount.
No, I mean, obviously what we've got now is phenomenal. It's amazing. But that little spot in Spence Street was another level. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll always remember that, and those people that are in there. And God, there were some good people through there.
Yeah,
a lot of people that we're still in contact with now.
100%. Yeah.
Even though they live on the other side of the country or even overseas, some really, really cool people around. So yeah, that was a great spot. And then moving into that.
There was a weekend. We did it in a weekend.
We went so hard.
With the help of our community. I
can't even believe it. I don't think we even slept.
I certainly. So between working full time and organising that, I was at that shed until midnight on my knees laying rubber. I never want to lay another. I laid every single piece of rubber. I keep telling you about this. I keep bringing this back up because this is something.
For the last 7 years.
That was the most excruciatingly painful job I've ever done in my life, just that laying every piece of rubber in that gym. So we did that. I was doing that until midnight every single night whilst working full time, whilst, keeping the gym running as well. And you were at the other place keeping things ticking along. And yeah, it was full on. But we moved everything over a weekend with the help of our amazing community and reopened.
Yeah, closed the old gym on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And then we reopened on the Monday in a new space. It was a mammoth effort, but it was pretty cool.
Again, barely filling it. Yeah. But yeah.
That's how you start. And obviously, we've worked our way through over the years, and again, just reinvested everything that was coming into the business, and we bought new equipment and we bought more rubber flooring, and we just kept going until, obviously the product that you see now, which is just incredible. I stand there, I still kind of
pinch yourself,
look at it and go, far out. We actually did this. Like, this is cool.
And 10.5 years, 11th year of operation, almost 3,000 people have come through our doors.
Yeah.
In that time, whether as members, to do PTs, to visit, people visiting, come to our gym quite often. They seek us out. There's a lot of people that have sought us out to come to our gym. The split men to women has always, in the beginning, it was very much males.
Yeah, I think they were the first ones that were kind of like, let's give this a crack and see how we go. So after all the girls at the start, but after
a year and a half, we were always averaging 50-50.
Yeah, we've always been pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even now, there might be like 10 difference.
Yeah. Between men and women
overall. So it's it's pretty cool. And all of our competitions are the same.
As well, the participation in our comps, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, creating that space from where we came from and where it all started, you just it's hard to believe.
Yeah. But going back to the old gym, that's where we got our little Mila dog.
Yeah.
So it was January 2017 we adopted her.
Yeah.
And
she's been a huge part of the gym, like
huge.
I can't even imagine the time without her being in the gym. It's
pretty sure she's the only reason we've got members.
Anyway. I think some people definitely come for the dog.
Just for the dog. They read gym dog on the website and go, oh, yeah right, okay, I'm there. But we brought her to that gym and we rolled the roller door up. So we adopted her at 2 years old from Yaps. And we brought her to, who knows when you're adopting. Brought her to the gym. We rolled up that roller door fully expecting her to just bolt. And she didn't.
Not straight away. She did the occasional one. There was a jogger running past one time, and she just decided that she was going to go for a jog with
that's
that
right.
guy. And she ended up going bloody 5Ks on the road with this random guy, and he didn't even stop. I was like, what are you doing, bro?
Oh, there's plenty of wild stories about Mila dog.
I don't know who was there at the time. Maybe Rob Murchie. I think jumped in his car and like had to drive like right down the road to go and pick up this stupid dog. Anyway, but since then she's just been perfect. Has never left outside
by your side all the time, and absolutely just loves everyone, is loved by everyone. She's the most spoiled dog in the world.
Yeah. I think like anyone who's had any contact with Iron Strength has got a memory of the dog of some description.
And likely a lot of photos of her in there.
Yeah, exactly.
As well as our little Samson boy.
Yeah, he came along not too long after we opened the second space.
So
a couple of years.
Yeah, so December 2020. It was actually that year of COVID. And he wasn't a COVID baby. We had been planning.
It was unfortunate timing.
It was the worst timing. We had been planning. I had told Elias, because Elias has always wanted to have about 700 kids, and
well, it was part of my vision, which included the gym, but also included
700 kids,
having a family.
And I didn't want children, and we compromised at one. And we got the best one.
We got very. I mean, I say lucky, but I feel like we've also done an okay job. Somehow.
Yeah. So he came along, COVID, and so we. When we were sort of planning when to have kids, I'd given you a list of, because, that's what I do. I do lists and spreadsheets and that sort of thing.
Lists.
Our life is organised in a spreadsheet. And I'd said, okay, we can start trying once we get all of these things ticked off the list. We just, then I'll be ready. Ticked all those things off the list.
And you were never truly ready, but you did it anyway. So
and ticked all those things off the list, and he's like, righto, okay, it's time now. And I went, no, we still need to do that. You went, no, hang on a sec, that's bullshit.
And then we obviously chose the wrong month to do it because we were
the worst. We did not do the math.
Did not think about
we did not do the math. So he was due around Christmas
Day.
Yeah, they'd given us and I'm a 28th of December baby, and it is the worst ever, because
You're just in the black
I'm
hole.
in the black hole between Christmas and New Year, and it is the worst. But anything near Christmas or New Year's is horrible. Combined presents, no one's ever around. You don't get to have parties, so it's horrible. So I don't know why we decided to do that to our child, just ruin his life from the get-go.
But I was like, I've only got this one shot. I gotta do this.
And it all happened very quickly. We were very fortunate, especially myself being a bit sort of older. All happened very quickly and due around Christmas, but he decided to come early, which was actually a blessing in disguise, in that he's the 4th of December, so not around Christmas, but not a great day to come.
Oh, I mean, it was a perfect day.
It was actually, it's a very fitting story. So he came on our Iron Strength's Christmas party.
I'm sure most people have heard the story if they haven't already, but yes, went into full-on labour during our Christmas party. I was trying to hold it together, doing a pretty good job. Like nobody even realised. We got out there and we're like, oh, by the way, Jackie's in labour, and everyone's like, oh, that's a cool joke. Like, no, she actually...
My waters broke that morning in Ken Central, running around buying your Christmas shirt for the party, and yeah.
Still got that stupid shirt.
You wear it every Christmas.
Surprised it still fits me, to be honest.
But yeah, fun, great times. I'm still dirty that I missed out on that party. There was so much awesome food, and I just couldn't stomach anything.
You shouldn't be dirty about missing the cleanup, because I was there till bloody 3 o'clock in the morning after I left the hospital.
I got
kicked out of the hospital because it was COVID times. Like, they didn't even let me stay with my son, and I was like, what the hell? This is ridiculous.
Don't you compare cleaning up a party to me giving birth.
And there was shit everywhere, and I was like, oh my God. So I was there all night cleaning up this bloody place. It was ridiculous. Anyway.
I'll get my violin out.
Oh.
Fun times. But I mean, yeah, that's a very fitting story. Another amazing memory.
And another part of the gym,
Yeah,
Samson's really, I think he's made an impact on a lot of people in the gym, and
he's grown up in that
everybody
place.
loves him. I think, I'm sure there's people out there who get annoyed with kids, and I do too. But I think he's not as annoying as he could be, which is good.
But he's grown up in that community. He has.
That's just been the
they
best.
say it takes a village to raise, a child, and it's so true. We do have family around. We are fortunate enough to have family around, but my God, that gym has played
next level. I mean,
such a huge part in his life.
I don't think I'd want to do it differently.
No,
if we did
not
it
that.
again.
No.
Like that side of things, having those people around, like, I mean, there's a few that stand out, obviously, like Boo Boo, like far out. How could he have, a childhood without her? Like, she's just a third grandmother.
And early days as well, Suze,
yeah.
Oh my God, she helped us out so many times with looking after him during competitions, and
I think
Rob has just showered him,
spoiled. Absolutely spoiled,
with so much love and toys,
I just can't even imagine doing it again without those people around, and even just the broader community, just being around and having that, really positive influence on Samson, I think is definitely super special, and we're really lucky in that way, I think.
So
just even
lucky.
his social skills and, the way he communicates is all, being a part of being in that community with all of those awesome people. So yeah, that's been amazing. And he just loves everybody as well, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So they're another big part of, not just the gym, but, all the other things that have kind of happened around that, and that we're super proud of.
So, I mean, we started in a busted up tiny hot tin shed, which was awesome. 3 years later, we moved into a bigger premises, and Mila came along. So the gym was our first baby. Mila was our second baby. Samson's our third baby. And, I mean, there's so much that has happened in that time. But the other notable thing that has happened during that time, obviously, was COVID.
Yeah.
And whilst we were all forced into lockdown, it was a crap time, obviously. I was still working at reduced hours, but I was fortunate enough to still be working. I wasn't stood down because I had to be paying everyone JobKeeper. So thank God I was in that role. But obviously we had to close the doors to the gym.
It
was tough.
Very near depression at that point. That was so bad.
Thankfully up here in North Queensland, we didn't get it anywhere near as bad as down south.
I mean, it was still hard. It was 3 months or so of just, being around. But in the community as well, and especially a special mention to the CYC, we were doing Zoom calls with like heaps of people and having a virtual beer together. It was such a tough time, but the community, no matter what, still managed to stick together, and
rallied,
all sorts of people would jump on those calls, and we just have a random chat about random stuff.
And
that was, and that wasn't even prompted by us either.
Yeah.
That was like, that's community driven stuff. It's I didn't say, all right, guys, we're going to do this. It's just people going, you know what, I want to go and catch up with my mates and have a bit of a beer, and so jumped on Zoom, and thankfully everyone jumped on, and we said it was cool. It was a really good time outside of, obviously having nobody in the gym. That was just cool that we could stay connected in some way.
I mean, that's what everyone had to kind of do to stay sane. But during that time, and certainly post-COVID, we saw lots of other gyms close down. So down south, small business is so bloody tough. And during COVID and post-COVID, and especially for a business that is a discretionary spend. So, it's not something that is necessary. It is necessary in people's lives, but
it's a luxury.
Yeah, it's a luxury. So
who are you talking to here? Discretionary spend. What the hell? We're not accountants.
So we yeah, we were seeing so many businesses, not just gyms, but just small businesses closing down. And to be honest, post-COVID, we constantly see it. And I honestly think we fared fine. We were fine post.
I mean, we had a few personal things on hold. We were sort of looking at.
But once we were able
to some renovations on the house, and they kind of just got
shelved.
Shelved.
But once we reopened our doors, it was back to normal. It was. I was so surprised.
So ready to get back.
I actually thought we were going to struggle quite a lot post-COVID, and we didn't. And
because once people get out of the habit of something, it's really hard to kind of get it back.
Yeah.
People were so ready to.
And also, no one had money. They were all being stood down from their jobs, so it's understandable. I was expecting mass cancellations and to really be struggling post-COVID, but
we got our numbers actually peaked after that. People just went crazy. They were just like, I got to get back in a gym,
which is great.
With.
Yeah, 100%.
I was well and truly ready to have some people back in my life. I cannot. I don't do well alone.
I'm fine. I'm okay to be a homebody.
I need some people around, and I was so happy to see everyone come back. So
but that was another huge thing that happened. That has happened in those 10.5 years.
And then our community was able to withstand and kind of even thrive after, which is cool.
Yeah.
I think the big thing here is, just how much pride, I guess, that we have for what we've built and the community that we have. It's just the people that have come through there. It's just been incredible. I think it is incredible, still is.
Yeah, competitions. When we ran that first one in 2014 as a pre-show to Michael Klassen's bodybuilding show, 25 competitors off the bat and with zero idea of how to do it. And then we opened up the gym, and back then so I'd totally forgotten about this. So back then, when we first opened up our gym, we affiliated with Powerlifting Australia. That was the only powerlifting federation in Australia that was drug tested.
Yeah, the only drug tested.
And that was the only way we wanted to go. That's core to our values. So we affiliated with them, and then we actually connected with a bloke in Townsville who were a bit sus on early days.
Well, he stole some equipment off us. I mean, should have been ours. It was rightfully ours.
So Powerlifting Australia had some equipment in Townsville, and powerlifting had sort of died or just gone quiet in Townsville, and so we tried to lay claim on that equipment.
Unused for years.
Yeah.
And so we got onto the CEO at the time, Robert Wilkes, and I said, look, this is what we want to do. We're going to start doing some comps and stuff. He's like, you know what? There's a bit of stuff hanging around in Townsville.
I'll go source it. I'll go find out what's going on with it.
And then that quickly got shut down. I'm like, hang on a second, what just happened?
Yeah.
What's going on here? And then we met.
And that's where we found out some guy in Townsville had laid claim to them. And so we're just thinking,
who's this guy?
What the hell? And so we reached out to each other, each one thinking, who the hell is this? It's a bit dodgy, We were all very sus on each other early days. And and it actually blossomed into an incredible sort of
partnership
over the years. Yeah. So the guy in question, Damien Horn, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with him. He has supported every single one of our competitions. I think there's only one he's missed where he couldn't come up because it was his wedding anniversary.
How dare he?
But anyway, so he's been at every one of our competitions, and he has been a backbone to the tech and just he. In early days, 2015 to I think about 2017, we ran the NQ
Open series.
So Townsville would run a comp, we'd run one. Townsville would run one, we'd run one. We held 4 competitions every single year for 2 or 3 years.
That was fantastic.
Between Townsville and Cairns, and it was so awesome, so awesome. I think it was from 2015. to 2017, we held the NQ Open, 4 comps a year between Townsville and Cairns, and it exploded. The competitions exploded during that time.
I mean, the numbers in those comps were huge.
You know, we had a comp in 2017 that was 73 competitors in that comp. And we've had comps that have sold out in hours. Yeah. Just blew up, sold out in hours. And yeah, during that time between Townsville and Cairns, they were some very fun times. And
just the best. And just, yeah, some really cool people that are still around. There's some notable people like Josh Chambers, who's, again, been with Damien, helped us out at just about every single comp we've ever run. And even in the last few years, hasn't even been involved in powerlifting in any other way, but still
comes up.
Yeah, so some really good friendships and lasting stuff.
A decade-long friendships and some very important people in our lives and our biggest supporters as well. And so from 2014, we've run 32 more comps. So 32 comps in total. And last night I did the math in my little spreadsheet because that's what I do.
Here we go.
I wanted to know. And I asked you how many competitors have stepped foot on our platforms over the last 10 and a half years. What number did you come up with?
I don't know. I said about 678. I don't know.
1,295 athletes that have actually competed. So obviously we've gotten more registrations through, dropouts, whatever. That's not including those. It is people that have physically stood on our platforms in the competitions in those 32 comps. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's amazing. And we've had some really cool comps.
Comps that have sold out in hours, comps where you have been in a wheelchair. We've hosted a national championships that I think, for me, that was one of my proudest, one of our proudest achievement, my proudest achievement.
That was crazy.
It was so we had over 120 competitors over 2 days. We held it at the Tanks
Art Centre, which we had to get a
grant for. It was over 6 months of work to obtain a grant for that, to plan that. I was working full time as well as running, the gym in the background. It was insane, and it was but we single-handedly pulled that off. We didn't have any help outside of, sort of from Powerlifting Australia. Outside of our community, that's right. So Powerlifting Australia they helped out with the tech on the day. That was it. All the organisation outside of that was us. And it was the most spectacular competition we've ever run. It is still talked about to this day. It was a Masters Championships, national champs. All the Masters in attendance say it was the best comp they have ever attended. It's still talked about to this day. And
it was an incredible comp. Incredible. It was so cool and just super special being in the tank. So it just made it just another level. And the production, having that,
and obviously
screen.
The screen, just the theatrics, everything. It was phenomenal. And the over 120 competitors over 2 days. I can't remember how many sessions. I think maybe 6 sessions, something like that, groups or whatever.
That was wild.
And the volunteers to pull that off, that was all our people, our community. It was they stood behind us for that one as well. It was epic, absolutely epic. We've held a lot of amazing competitions, but that was
a pretty special one. Sure.
That was a once ever.
Yeah. We don't need to do that again.
After that, everyone was going, when's the next one? Oh, yeah, no, tick that off. Never happening again, never.
It definitely gave me, I look at some of these guys running comps now and I just think, oh, man, that's wild, having 300 plus competitors in a weekend. And
they've got huge teams. That we were doing that ourselves. That was just you and I, and rallying our community with zero funds behind us. So all these comps we've ever run, we've never made any money off it. That was never our intention. And
because most of them have been off-site.
Off-site as well, yeah. We decided to shoot ourselves in the foot with this. So
well, you did.
And you had no choice. I can't do anything by halves. That was, I think, the one thing for me. I loved the organising, the putting, everything around putting that competition on, I loved it. That I was in my element with regard to that.
Time.
Oh, never during. You would never suspect it during. It was horrible to put it on. It was so much hard work, working and getting no sleep.
You just love the stress, I swear. You just
I thrive off stress. But
load yourself up and crazy.
But yeah, it was. I went overboard. In doing that, we shot ourselves in the foot because we set a standard. We really set a standard that meant that people were seeking us out. So we would have competitions attended by people from interstate. They would be coming. So pre-COVID, our comps were always attended. So PA days, people were flying up to our competitions. They were asking when our next one was on. After our Deep North Deadlift Derby, the first one in 2018, the response we got from that was out of this world. Everyone.
That was epic. Oh, man, that was such a cool comp. Smoke machine, lights, little tunnel to walk out to get to the platform.
We replicated that in 2023, but that first one was
amazing.
Amazing. But we would get people messaging us and contacting us going, oh, are you doing that one again next year? Are you doing that? You know, so the competitions, that's a legacy that we've created, which and that's something that we are so very proud of. And by doing that, in holding these competitions, we have, I guess, encouraged people to take up strength sports. I mean, this is why we run competitions. It's to get people training towards a goal. And so in doing that, we have, I guess, gotten people into strength training that never really would have.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have started the competitions going, oh, wow, I didn't realise that this is what it was all about, and looks really exciting. Maybe I'll give it a go.
Yeah, that's one thing that set us apart as well, is that, look, powerlifting is boring. It can be really boring. But what we did with our competitions is we made it fun. We made it look fun. And it got people interested in strength sports. So whilst competitions were so much hard work, and doing them off-site was extraordinary levels more hard work, it was something that we loved doing because it got people doing into something that we absolutely loved. I loved competing. Pre all these comps, I still competed early days when I could, but my passion was to get people into powerlifting. And so by running these amazing competitions and creating that community and that environment,
safe space for new people to have back as well.
And getting women into it as well.
Lots
of girls. That's why I put stupid amounts of effort into holding these into just the organising these competitions to a really high level, and thinking of all those little details, because we wanted nothing more. You were the one. You made it interesting. You made people think powerlifting was fun, and it is fun, but it can be quite boring to spectate. But I wanted, and the reason why I put so much effort into it was to get, it was a competitor experience. For me, it was all about making,
about the competitors.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Never about making money, never about doing anything outside of giving the competitors the fun day possible, the most sort of the best experience they could possibly have on the platform. Yeah.
And I think we
achieved that. We achieved that 100%. I'm so proud of what we've done with competitions and growing strength sports in Cairns from the 80s, where it died in the 80s, to nothing, to us reviving the sport in 2014.
Bringing it back in a big way.
Yeah, we brought it back. And that's one thing I'm so bloody proud of.
And now there's, quite a thriving powerlifting community. We got, other gyms opened up now holding competitions as well, and it's kind of just. And
I'm so happy to share that workload. Oh my God.
Thank God for that. Holding multiple comps a year, like 4 or 5 comps in a year. I think there was one year we did A bunch of comps. That's super hard. Obviously, as well as trying to do everything else you have to do. But
there's running a business, exactly. So we've done 22 powerlifting comps, 9 strongman comps, and 1 arm wrestling comp.
That was real fun too.
But so we've done a lot of comps, and the majority of them have been off-site. We've held Ecstatic Monsters at Kangaroos. All of our Deep Norths have been off-site at St Andrews. So I think St Andrews hosted us for 7 or 8 years, and then we held our last Deep North at Olhock, and which was a phenomenal venue as well, and a bit bittersweet because we knew that was going to be our last offsite comp.
Well, it just became
too much,
really hard.
Samson was around, so that was our last Deep North was 2024, and so Samson was around, and it just became too hard.
Yeah, just as a family, that's just become a little bit too challenging to try and juggle that and give him the time that he needs, and without us being overtired and stressed, and
But outside of that, that was our last one, and since then we've held powerlifting competitions in house, and they have been great as well. Still with all the bells and whistles, still with all of the attention to detail, because I cannot do it any other way. But we scaled down, and also because we knew that this day was coming. So we'd made that decision a little while ago, and which we'll get onto. But
so I suppose we should probably stop rambling on about what we've done. I guess you got a picture of what we've gone through to get this far. It's been a pretty epic journey.
Yeah, competitions. We've created a world-class facility. It's organised, it's spotless, it's professional, and you look at our Google reviews, and that's one thing that so many of our Google reviews will say is how organised and clean that place is, and that's no mean feat for an open air gym. It's insane.
And the little team we have now work really hard to keep that going. And like the whole buzzword, the community, it annoys me to say sometimes, but you talk about community. It's such a buzzword out there. But in this case, it is just the best. I, hand on heart, could not hope for a better group of people to hang out with. I think that's our proudest legacy, is our community, what we've built. Yeah. We've put equipment into this shed, and we've organised it to the nth degree, and it looks great. It's very functional.
But without people in it, it's nothing.
Yeah,
it's absolutely nothing.
Been the best part of all of this, I think.
That's what sets our place apart, 100%.
Just such great people everywhere, all around us, all the time, which is amazing, which also makes, what comes next even harder.
That's right. But almost 3,000 people have walked through our doors with the goal to get Bullshit Strong, for whatever reason that might be, whether it's for a sport, for strongman, for powerlifting, for some other sporting endeavour they have, for mental health, for
sorting out their osteoporosis,
for health reasons.
Yeah.
We have all walks of life in our gym, and that is our biggest success story. It's creating a safe space for these people to come in with no judgment and no prerequisite to strength, to come in and get strong with like-minded people in a safe, inclusive environment.
Super buzzy. Good job. Put that